really believe about being an artist is that it's something I read by Nietzsche years ago. And the idea is that the only true work of art you create is your own life. And I try to associate everything I do and separate it as an object, or separate it as a performance, separate it as a poem or something. And it doesn't make sense to me because it's grounded in pretty much everything that I am about. So where I come from is a big part of who I am. I am an immigrant. This is the one with the big ears is me. Bucaramanga, Colombia. That sense of being an immigrant is you kind of left one place and you're trying to fit in another. That's kind of the way I feel about art. I'm not really disciplined enough to say I'm one thing and not another. One of my biggest influences was my mother. She was a dancer. And I used to sneak into the studio and watch her teach. So movement has always been something that was very important to me. But also the delicacy, the way she holds her hands, that beautiful sense. My mother was the black sheep of the family, wanted me to be a priest. Found out what you have to give up, I couldn't do it, blah, blah, blah. My first art experience was a conceptual piece. I was taken when I was a little kid to the river Orinoco to go pick up Christmas trees. I had to pee. I was 6 years old. I peed in it, and ever since then I've been peeing in all these places. And you know, I'm going to go somewhere to the Rubicon and I'm going to piss on what Caesar did. I started doing murals. I was in a law firm for 14 years after I left art school, and somebody said, hey, you want to go to Mexico and paint a mural? I said, sure, why not? I'm not doing anything. So we went and painted a mural down there. I started doing large works. This one is downtown. It's now being covered by some complexes. But it's kind of, murals have been something that I don't know, I fell into it. I used to draw on walls in apartments that I lived in. And then I would get kicked out, the mural would stay there, and then somebody paid me to start putting it on the walls. They have an agenda. This one was for the Wyandotte Nation. It's on 36 panels, 8x4 aluminum, downtown Kansas City, Kansas. Talks about the division between the Wyandotte Nation. There's the Oklahoma Wyandotte, and then the ones that settled in Kansas City and became Methodist, part of the church. But one of the best experiences I've had in doing art when I started doing murals is I started working with kids, and this was a group that I worked with. And I like the diversity of that because it tells me, you know, in art, there's no separation, there's no color, there's no barriers. There's a language you can communicate across. And I saw it very clearly when I started working with kids. And this is a mural. I was hired to work with these kids, and I wasn't going to tell them what to draw or paint or anything. My idea is process. So you sit down and you start coming up with ideas, you start coming up with designs, find a theme around it, and I'll direct you. You'll do about 10 drawings before we start painting it on the wall. This is what they came up with. So then I went to something totally different. Jane was talking about spirals, and these things, what I'm really intrigued by is movement, and it goes back to the movements my mother used to do. But I just love that whole thing about line and color. So I just follow it. I don't know where I start on any of these things, and you can actually hang them in any direction you want. But in the same spirit, somebody said that I have a narrative bend to my murals. Well, this is a piece that's 17 feet long by 7 feet, and it's basically a pen and ink. And it's one of the things I pull it out every now and then and work on it. But what I really want to do is get a commission where somebody gives me a wall, and I just start going on it for 2 weeks and then I see what I get. This is a piece that's called "The Desert No One Remembers Her Name" with apologies to America, and it's a piece of papyrus I bought in Egypt, and it's a list of all the dead in Iraq up until about a year ago when this piece was shown. I've now added it, it's down a couple more lines. It's about 4,800 people. This is one for Afghanistan dead, and it's a old cedar. Still had some relief, and I just wrote the names of all the Americans that have died in Iraq. It's about 500 now. It's getting more and more because now we're going to be involved in it more. And then this is kind of my feeling about the separation sometimes that exists in the arts. Dancers don't talk to each other, poets don't talk, painters don't talk, spoken musicians, actors. But I see this whole thing as just one big thing. I don't see any distinction in the discipline. My mother was a dancer. It informs what I do many years later. And because there just wasn't too much time on hand, we started a a Latino Writers Collective to get our work out. I'm a writer. I've been a writer since I can remember. And we published 2 anthologies. I don't know, that's kind of like with Maria. I'm kind of really driven by the word itself. And then, because this is really one of the best things I've learned how to do in my life, it's like when I crash really well. So I'm inviting everybody to come to this beach in 2010, from December 21st to New Year's. It's a beach, it's a national turtle preserve on the Pacific coast in Michoacan, Mexico. And when you get there, there's literally about 5,000 people that come down there for like about that week between the 21st through the Feast of the Epiphany. And it's just a party. And it's artists, dancers, drummers, musicians. I hope to see you.